Well, if you listen to what they said on the call, it actually was that they were expecting to see a little bit of upside to this coming quarter, the next fiscal quarter. But the thing that surprised them was the strength in AI demand. So everything else is the same stronger growth that they were expecting. They were expecting the pricing is going to continue to be increasing. They're expecting that you're going to start to see more content for memory and a little bit less so for storage in phones and PCs and storage and in servers. But what they weren't expecting was the strength of demand for memory in particular in AI-driven applications. That was really the upside. And I think that that's going to continue to surprise people on the upside. And I do want to say something. If you're going to have growth over, let's call it 10 years of, I think, good growth out of AI, it's going to be very lumpy because there's a very small number of huge companies that are doing the buying. They have to buy a whole bunch of stuff, and then their engineers have to integrate it. So it's going to be lumpy. It is not going to be a very stable consumer-driven growth like we were used to in a lot of other things.
And a very quick one. I don't know if you heard our previous guest speaking about Apple and certainly the Western hardware losing ground in China. How do you think Micron is likely to play the US-China balancing act moving forward?
Well, for Micron, there's not much of a balancing act. I mean, they've actually gone into court about having their technology stolen by Chinese companies. They've kind of gone a little bit more full force in China. They do actually have a back-end facility, I believe, in Xi'an in China, but they're generally not a Chinese manufacturing. Unlike the other DRAM manufacturers where you have Samsung and Hynix do have considerable assets in China. So I think when you start looking at Micron is going to be much more of a U.S., European type of supplier. They're going to supply much more to that. They're going to be paired much more closely, I think, with companies like NVIDIA and going into the big hyperscale, not really going to be as much of a China play.
Interesting, given the leadership's been making low-profile trips to China. But Eric, thank you so much for your insights.